Well, this presentation was organized by Jorge Frank. Obviously, I am not Jorge Frank, so I put my picture in my presentation to begin with, so you can recognize me. I want to talk to you about leadership plan for Rotary clubs. Every one of us is a leader in somehow. You're a leader in the family, you're a leader in your business and your profession. But when you get together with so many leaders in a Rotary Club, then you start wondering really how good a leader I am. But the leadership in Rotary is a very special leadership activity. When you when you become president in a Rotary Club, you start working with volunteers. And working with volunteers is a different situation than being a leader in your family or your business or your profession. So you really have to focus on what leadership is all about. So I would like to go through this presentation in about half an hour and leave some minutes at the end for questions, which I think at the end is the best way to understand what we are going to go through. What I would like to accomplish through this presentation and my participation in these bets. To begin with, I would like to show you, and I hope you to know characteristics of a leader, of a Rotary partner, and of a dynamic club. I also would like to show the principles to help implement a leadership plan in the club and have your best practices. Okay, let's talk about the characteristics of a leader. A leader, when we see a leader through the eyes of a volunteer in a Rotary Club, is when really the leader leads by example. Whatever a leader does, you're going to have followers. If you do the things that people is expected you to do as a Rotarian, as a leader in a Rotary Club, they will follow you. Leader has to have knowledge, know what he's doing. He has to do his homework and get ready to answer questions in a club or a district or a zone, depending on your position. Is a planner, plans everything ahead of time, with enough time, not at the last moment. A good leader is a planner, plans like you as presidents and incoming boards of Rotary clubs. You have to plan your year ahead. Don't wait for the year to begin. If you start planning at the beginning of the year, you're late. You have to plan ahead of time. A leader has to be accessible. If you don't take care of your peers, of your members in your club, and you're not accessible, you're not a leader. You have to be accessible. You have to share with all your members, with all your president peers, and work of excellence. You have to try to do the things the best you can with your team, with your club. He's empathetic. He's as empathetic as he is, you will be doing, he or she is, you will be doing wonderful projects because you're going to put yourself on other people's shoes and understand them better what they need. He has to have transparency. Everything he does, everything, not only in the club, but outside the club, he's doing things well. He's doing things the way they had to be done. And of course, ethics, that goes with our 4-way tests. You have to be ethic in all your activities in or outside the club. When you talk about knowledge and training, there are several documents that you must manage. One of them is the manual of procedure. During a year as a president in a club, there are going to be many conflicts. There are going to be many situations. And many of those situations can be solved if you read the manual of procedures. I have seen in clubs situations that are taken care of within the manual of procedures. And the board of the club is just inventing new procedures, which are not wise or don't take into consideration the opinion of the members of the clubs. And they get into more problems if they just had read the manual procedures. The statute for the statute of the Rotary clubs. Every Rotary club should have the statutes, their own way of seeing with the eyes of the people in your community, in your members. And of course, know the code of policies. The code of policies is widespread. You can find these two documents. We're going to go through some resources at the end of the presentation. But this code of policies, you can find it in the webpage of the Rotary's webpage. Many people, many presidents don't go through the code of policies. And there are certain issues there that can help you be a better president, or the best president. And finally, you can be trained, you yourself, and recommend to most of your members through the, well, I didn't translate it. This is el Instituto de Liderazgo Rotario, the Rotary Leadership Institute, RLI. There's a lot of knowledge there that can give you the clue to solve problems and do a nice work as a club president. Now let's pass over the creating and commitment of a Rotarian. Let's see what a Rotarian, what you're looking for in each and every one of the members of a club. First, characteristics. A member of a club, when you're searching to invite members into your club, look at the economic solvency, that the member has resolved his or her economic responsibility to enjoy Rotary. You don't want members that are struggling to pay their dues. It's important that the member has economic solvency, that you see leadership in them. If you see leadership in a future member or in your actual Rotary Club members, you can start kind of introducing different members of your club into the presidency, and after the presidency into a district position. Their culture, that they can invite, they can come into the club and add its culture into the rest of the members of the club and share something different and nice into the club. The future or your members has to have a universal values. We want people into Rotary that has values. And there are many values that we share with all the Rotary community around the world. The new member and your members should have and practice these universal values. And last but not least, who has a vocation for service, either to help or participating in a community service project or by helping to strengthen the club. And afterwards, if you go out of the club to serve at the district level or even a zone level. Everyone can be a leader, not only in the club, but at the district, at the zone, and why not at Rotary International level. Now, let's go through the commitments a Rotary member has to have. First of all, dedicate time to your club. If you don't dedicate time, if you're not enthusiastic about participating in club activities, you're not really committed to a Rotary Club. And I just heard the end of the conversation you had with Mario, who preceded my presentation. And you were talking about dedicating time to your club. And I think that most of the activities in Rotary, if you dedicate them, you realize how wonderful it is to participate in Rotary. And the person-to-person activity is very important, even though the Zoom activities, well, helps when distances are difficult. But as the more that you can participate in person, the more that you get in love with your club, and you will dedicate more time to your club. Make a career in our organization. We all have work. We all have our profession or company or project going on. But there's also time to make a career in our organization. If you focus on making a career, you will be interested in everything that happens in Rotary. Think about it. Then fulfill the commitments established by RI, by Rotary International, by the district and its club. We are a big family. We are an international family. So commit to what Rotary asks us to do, what the district or your club asks us to do. Now let's go through the characteristics of a dynamic club. Recommendations to leaders and presidents and officials. Remember that to promote professional business relationships between partners, attach to the four-way test always. Recommend to club officials that young Rotarians be integrated into the club's activities as soon as possible and be offered responsibilities on the club's board of directors. Every member that comes into a new club and participates in the board of directors and realizes what a club is, what the Rotary Club is doing, they will start to show interest and want to participate. 2, that the scheme of the weekly meetings be adapted to be more flexible, to be attractive to the new generations. We are losing members very fast. And there's a lot of young people outside of our clubs that will join if we will be more flexible in our weekly meetings. 3, that the best way to make an attractive club is to work in harmony, implementation and commitment to the spirit and actions of the 5 avenues of service. Every one of us has different views of what can be done through a Rotary Club. The Rotary Club offers 5 different ways of getting involved for service. Offer those 5 different choices to your members, so everyone will get involved. 4, that they should be concerned that the members and the behavior in general of a club are a model of positive example for society in order to have the desired influence. Whatever the club does, people is looking at. And if the club does a good example, the club would be in a good position in your community. 5, that for the weekly sessions, you have an agenda where respect to protocol and good customs are preserved. Sometimes people reject about protocol. And we talk about young people, and several times members say that a protocol does not go along with young people. So on several meetings I have had with Rotary actors, I have asked them about it. And it's impressive the answers you get. They are very enthusiastic about protocol, and they really liked it. So don't think that we don't have to respect protocol. It's a nice thing to have something to hold off when you work with a regular protocol on your club meetings. So use and respect the protocol and good customs in your community and your club. And B, recommend to club presidents that balance of speakers in weekly sessions, integration and fellowship activities. Keep a training program on the Rotary Foundation and Rotary issues, implementation of community service projects. Remember that many people comes into our clubs because they do want to make community service projects. So keep all the time, every club should have several community service projects to serve their own members. Now, how to transmit to members the commitment and sense of belonging. Recommend to club officials that to strengthen the conservation of members, each club must carry out the following strategies to keep each of the members motivated and active. That has a specific activity within the operational process of a club. That the club has an ongoing training program on Rotary topics. That you are invited, attend, and participate in the events of integration and fellowship. Never leave a club member out of your activities. Actively participate in service projects and district events. Now, let's talk about how to have a dynamic club. Your best practices are define a vision and set goals. And for this, we have a great tool in Rotary, our strategic plan that goes with 4 objectives, which are increase our impact, expand our reach, improve participant engagement, and increase our adaptability. If we adapt our strategic plan set in Rotary, our club is going to be working and dynamic and kept and invite new members often and will be a better club. In 2018, we began an important new chapter in Rotary's history. We launched the action plan, a strategic roadmap that will guide us to be more effective and in telling stories about the difference we make in communities and in people's lives. Change is difficult, but at every level of Rotary, people have stepped up and embraced opportunities to evolve and remain contemporary and relevant to current and new generations of members, and to address new challenges. There's a new enthusiasm for sharing ideas too, which is important because we need to work together to achieve our goals. Based on Rotary's strategic plan and district guidelines, visualize the club scores. How can we adapt the Rotary's strategic plan to our clubs? We have to ask ourselves, how do we want our club to be in the next 3 to 5 years? Do we want it to be more diverse? Are we interested in involving our community more in club activities? Or do we look for ways to realize more meaningful projects? Planning and setting goals that can be achieved within 3 to 5 years can help us achieve those goals and more. A strategic plan can help us capture partners' priorities regarding the activities and ideas we want to maintain change or implement to achieve our goals. An annual viewing session can help us in evaluating the club and deciding what needs to be changed. Activities. What vision do you have for our club, for your club? What changes would we like to make? What long-term goals do we want to achieve in the next 3 to 5 years? Now, also create a communication plan. Every strategic plan includes a good communication plan. Dynamic clubs are willing to use creative methods to inform members and the community about the club and its activities. Today's digital world makes it easier to keep partners informed. We may use Skype, WhatsApp, and Facebook Live to communicate with partners who are unable to attend an in-person meeting. Social media can help us promote our club and its activities with our family, friends, and members of our community. It's also a great way to show potential partners how we contribute to the community. It is important to keep the club's website and social media accounts, such as Facebook and Instagram, up to date. Always ask yourselves, what do we do now to keep partners informed and engaged effectively? How can we improve it? How often do we update our website? How do we use the templates and resources available in the brand center to spread our activity within the community? Also, a dynamic club prepares their new leaders at district meetings, targeting new partners, promoting online learning, focus on leadership, and development programs. All of these are part of a comprehensive training plan. District meetings, new partners orientation, online learning, leader development programs can help make your members more involved and enthusiastic about their own club. To ensure that new and existing members receive the necessary training, clubs are encouraged to appoint an instructor or a training committee if it is a large club. Partners are also encouraged to visit the training center regularly to see the courses that are available. We may also conduct a survey to find out what skills our partners would like to develop. The Leadership in Action Guide can help us design an effective training program. When you're talking about training your members, think also and make yourself these questions. What kind of training would you like to see given at the club? Which training modality should be eliminated, combined, or modified in its entirety? Okay, let's go to resources. All of what I just shared with you, you can find into the My Rotary global site, website for helpful resources to make the club more dynamic. You can find there the club health survey, very important in order to help you implement the strategic plan into your club. The strategic planning guide. You can go through Rotary Club Central and just navigate within the reports and the information you can get and you can find at Rotary Club Central. Prepare a partner satisfaction survey that will give you how your members are satisfied with the club and what other things they expect from their club. There are many online membership courses at the training center. Almost anything can you find in the training center for any position in the club. So use it and promote it within your members. Use the brand center. There's been a great effort at Rotary International done in order to work with the same logo all around the world. Wherever you go, you identify Rotary the same way anywhere in the world. So use the brand center. You don't have to contract a designer, a special designer to do things for your club. Use the brand center. You will find also how to introduce Rotary to new members. Many times I have seen new members come and go from a club because they went into the club and they never realized what Rotary is really. So there's a small tool here that you can find in my Rotary on how to introduce Rotary to new members. Use it. And of course, leadership in action, where you can expand on the issue we have been talking in the past half hour. So at the beginning of this session, we set our goals to see the characteristics of a leader, of a Rotary partner, of a dynamic club. Principles to help implement a leadership plan in the club, and your best practices. I hope we accomplish these goals. Because our goal, our club, is a source of dreams. And I just want to finish with Paul Harris' phrase that says, Rotary exists to foster the personal development of each member. And such development involves increasing their ability to serve others. Thank you very much for your attention. I would like to spend a few moments with questions and answers, if you may, please. Thank you. Anybody has any question, you may use your hands up in your Zoom window, and I will be glad to answer, try to answer, or give advice where you can find the answer.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
We are about to implement the health survey for the club to know where we are. So we bring down the form from my Rotary, but how does it tabulate? Does it tabulate or we have to tabulate apart?
I mean,
Is that how you say it?
There's no tabulation available from Rotary, right?
no, you just, you have a form that you send to your members, right?
Right.
Okay, done. Then you have to work that tabulation personally with your team members on the club. No, you turn off your microphone.
There's no tabulation. We have to do our own tabulations.
Yeah, you have to do your own.
Okay. That's
Thanks.
thanks.
Anyone else? Yes, Diana?
Talking about that survey, I remember when in my club, I did this several years ago and I lost the file. I have to find it again. I made a Google survey.
Okay.
And that automatically does the tabulation and it gives you graphics and all that kind of stuff, but you have to write it in. But it takes 2 or 3 hours, something like that, and the results are immediate. So that could be some kind of support for you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Diana.
You're welcome.
Any other comment or question, please? No more questions? Okay. Well, I will share with through Mario my presentation, so you can you will be able to have it with you, and you can use it in your clubs if you want. Just take out the picture at the beginning, and you're set. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rodolfo.
Thank you. Thank you, Past District Governor Rodolfo, for your presentation and sharing the importance of leadership planning. I would like to ask Carolina to present a token of appreciation to you.
Thank you very much, Rodolfo. Definitely talking about leadership in Rotary is so important because that's what we do in our lives, with our lives every day. And I think that all the topics that you cover, it will help us to make very good things in this upcoming year. Thank you very much, Rodolfo. The 40-50 District Award the following certificate to Rodolfo Bianchi for his participation in the President-elect Training Seminar 2022 with his presentation, Creating a Leadership Plan for Rotary Club, signed by our Governor, Victor Manuel Rodriguez, the District Instructor, Mario Lopez, and by me. Thank you very much, Rodolfo. Great presentation.